name is Stuart Allwright. I'm a master of one of the reef vessels and some of the other vessels operated by Cruise It Sundays here at the Great Barrier Reef. That's exactly right. It is a wonder of the world, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, spanning a huge area consisting of about 2,900 individual reefs, spanning about 2,500 kilometres, starting at about Bundaberg as you come up from the south of Australia, and then stretches north actually of Australia into Papua New Guinea and beyond. It varies in distance from the coast. The further north you get, the closer it is, and where we are here, it's approximately 40 nautical miles into the centre of the reef from the coastline. So with us, we come out and we have the pontoon there. It makes it great for all families and people of all ages, having a nice stable platform for people to get in and experience the Great Barrier Reef. But beyond that, there are many ways to come out and experience the reef. We also offer helicopter flights for those that are lucky enough to take advantage of those, and you can see it from the air. And once you've been in the water looking at all the corals and fishes that you can see, you'll then get above the reef system and realise that what you were looking at was such a small section of a much bigger reef that is still one small reef out of 2,900 that make up the reef system. So the scale of it is absolutely mind-blowing, and as I said, it varies from north to south and in depth as you go from warmer climates further north to the slightly cooler climates a little bit further south of where we are. So the Great Barrier Reef has and is home to about 400 different species of corals and 1,500 different species of fish, making it the largest ecosystem that you can find with the diverse amount of life that you'll find anywhere on the globe. And being that it's so close to the coast in places and that you can come out and explore it, it's a great way for people to come and explore an entire world that they may not even know about or have even thought or seen before, and it's certainly worth a visit if you ever come through to Australia again. The coral system itself is fairly unique in respect that it's an animal, a plant and a mineral all living in one symbiosis. The animal part is called zooxanthellae, and that creates and takes sunlight from of course the sun and creates a lot of the food that the coral polyp then lives from, and it creates a calcium carbonate structure, which is a mineral, and that's what coral is. There are certain corals that fish will feed from, and they'll take that algae and zooxanthellae and that substrate and as part of their diet, but most of the time you'll find that the coral structure and the fish just create a living environment, much like you and I live in towns and cities and villages around the world. The fish live in those coral ecosystems, providing shelter from them, from larger predators, of course, all the way up through the food chain to the top, being sharks, being the apex predator here on the Great Barrier Reef. So there is some press talking about the Great Barrier Reef, both in positive lights, with funding being allocated certainly by the Australian government more recently. They've committed a lot of funds towards researching and educating people in protecting the reef, but there is also, of course, some negative press talking about the reef being inadvertently damaged by climate change. I think both of those are true. Not one extreme is prevalent over one other. But what you'll find is if most people respect the reef and come out and want to learn about it, and they can take that away, and then if they can do one or two things back in their hometowns that would perhaps help global warming, if that's their issue, then that is certainly a good step forwards for the reef. But to start with, if people learn about the reef and how fragile it can be and how delicate of an ecosystem it is, and that it won't survive if we continue to not only bring out perhaps reduce carbon emissions and try and reduce warming of the reef. If we can reduce the amount of chemicals and outflow that come from rivers and creeks and from commerce on the mainland and other pressures put on it by humans. If we can reduce all of those things, then I think it's got a very positive outlook. But yeah, research and education is the key to start with.